Saturday for action here on the Tide Trans Am Tour at Mid-Ohio. We'll be back to check the starting grid in just a moment. Competition. Greg Pickett starts from the pole, a former Trans Am champion. You know that Baldwin is right alongside. The Archer brothers, and what an impact they've had this season, occupy the second row. Scott Sharp in his bid for the title, alongside Ron Fellows, who won the last event at Elkhart Lake in row 3. Paul Gentilozzi, a former winner, and George Robinson in the 4th row. Jim Stevens and Dick Danielson side by side in row number 5. We go down through the rest of the field. You see that Deborah Gregg starts in row number 6. Walter Payton, the former NFL star, is found in row number 8 for the start of this one today. It's a 28-car field, shaking out the kinks, getting the nerves all in line, Derek Daly, for what should be a most intriguing afternoon of Trans Am racing.
Trans Am racing has been fantastic all weekend and all afternoon and all year, in fact. Let's have a look at the track map. Great road racing facility here. Great elevation changes. We'll see that it's 15 turns. A top speed here of above 165 miles an hour in qualifying.
Now, one thing that's a little bit unusual here at Mid-Ohio is the fact that they don't take the green flag in front of the pits at the start-finish line. They actually use the high-speed portion of the backstretch to get the green. It'll be coming up shortly. You can see it's a magnificent day for racing. It just couldn't be better. Bright sunshine, tremendous crowd on hand, a great field getting ready and in position now as we anticipate a chance to go green. It's Pickett on the inside in car number 6. Baldwin is right alongside. This is one of the strongest Trans Am fields that we have seen in several events. Looking and getting the green. Remember, they're on the backstretch, and look at the traffic jam now as they set up for the turn. Heavy braking by Baldwin as he sets the pace. Pickett holds on to second, and they now start to string out and get the single file positioning. But the jump goes to Jack Baldwin. The Archers running right behind Baldwin and Pickett. They started in the second row and a good, clean, high-speed start.
And a risky move by Jack Baldwin. We saw him lock up those front brakes, clouds of tire smoke, but look at the back of that car. Fluid, maybe fuel coming out of the fuel tank, because remember, it is packed full of fuel at this early stage. But Baldwin, we're going to have to keep an eye on him.
Well, indeed, Baldwin sets the pace. They'll be coming around now and coming to the carousel and then sweeping by the front straightaway for the first time. But again, you see that fluid from the left rear of the leading car, number 25, of Jack Baldwin. Now they cross the start-finish line. And, of course, you know that that has been seen also by Greg Pickett, who challenges in car number 6.
And it's only on right-handers. Look at the left-handers, no problem, but it's on the long right-handers that Baldwin is in trouble with that fluid, whatever it is. Look at the gaggle behind them, though.
Let's get a quick report now from the pits as we go to Jan Beekes.
Well, Jack Baldwin's strategy, Gary, was to lead that first lap. Remember, you get a point for leading a lap. In this case, it's only a half a lap because of where they started. As far as that leakage, that is normal, and that's fuel. Gary?
We've got an Archer making a move. Tommy Archer challenging Pickett for second place. They're side by side. Let's see how this one, as they come into the next corner, will Archer make the pass? He does. Tommy Archer, a previous winner this year on the streets of Belle Isle in Detroit, takes over second place, and Pickett, who started from the pole, is now shuffled back one spot. He is in the number 3 position.
Well, Greg Pickett definitely taking a very conservative approach here in the early laps. We saw Tommy Archer come down the inside. That's a difficult move sometimes. That's at the end of the long back straight, and they really had to stand on that brake pedal to get the cars to stop.
You can see now that nobody has been able to open up any particular advantage. Everybody now getting their position, getting into race rhythm. Pickett holding out of the number 3 spot. Baldwin, who leads the championship point standings, has the lead in the race. Tommy Archer second. Pickett is racing third. Bobby Archer, who was fastest in the final practice session, races fourth. Pickett looks like he wants to re-challenge for the second spot. He makes the move inside as they sweep into the first turn underneath the bridge. We believe that Pickett was able to get through and get back into second place. He did.
And a decisive move, but look at this here. Look at the other Tommy Archer's car. Bobby's trying to come down the inside. Look at is that Robinson or Gentilozzi?
That is Gentilozzi in car number 75.
Fuel pours out of Gentilozzi's car also. So obviously these Camaros, if it is fuel, have a similar fuel tank arrangement. I hope at the end of the race they don't need that fuel that they're dumping out onto the racetrack.
Well, this race is configured for 101 and a fraction miles, and here comes Paul Gentilozzi. The last time we saw Gentilozzi in Trans Am competition was at Portland, and remember, he was sent to the back of the pack prior to the start of the race. He blew through the field, and he won at Portland. And right now, Gentilozzi in 75 is coming on strong. Now, Ron Fellows comes into the picture. He's in that blue Mustang number 4. We have got a great battle shaping up here in the early rounds at Mid-Ohio.
There's the fuel again. See it on these long right-handers. Now it's diminished a little bit. They've used about 4 or 5 gallons probably already. So, as I said, I hope they don't need that fuel earlier on. But look at Scott Sharp at the back of the gaggle here now, right behind George Robinson, Gentilozzi's teammate.
Sharp, of course, is the other player in the championship series. He's in car number 33. He's got a lot of traffic to contend with right now. As we go back up to the leaders, here we see now the man on top, Baldwin, closely pursued by Pickett. Pickett holds the number 2 spot. Tommy Archer is holding on to the number 3 position. Checking them out now as they continue here in the early laps at Mid-Ohio. On with Derek Daly and Jan Beekes. We're watching Jack Baldwin lead a single file procession now as they sweep into the first turn. Baldwin in car 25, your leader, closely pursued by Greg Pickett. Tommy Archer in car number 3 races in the 3rd spot, and then it's Paul Gentilozzi next in line. Making a move is Ron Fellows. Fellows, who won the last race in car number 4. That was at Elkhart Lake on the 4-mile circuit. Leads the way through. Robinson in 74 also challenging and getting past Bobby Archer's number 32, the Dodge.
Well, that was a surprise that Robinson was actually able to follow Ron Fellows through. He had to do it the hard way, go right round the longer outside line. But look at Sharp making a move also on Bobby Archer.
Scott Sharp is currently running in 8th place in car number 33. He started this race in the number 5 position. Is he just taking a conservative approach, Derek?
Scott Sharp is definitely taking a conservative approach. I know from the tire information he's running on harder tires than most of the other runners here, hoping for a warm afternoon, thinking that in the last 25% of the race he will be in very good shape. But look at the fuel still coming out of the back of Scott Sharp's car.
This battle here is roughly 4.5 seconds behind the front-running Jack Baldwin. You're looking at the Texan Robinson in car number 74 as he tries to hang on to that position in 7th place. Here's Pickett trying to make a move as he challenges again. Baldwin, who has been magnificent in 6 consecutive events with no finish, worse than 2nd place, hanging on to a very precarious lead. And Pickett has been so strong all weekend here.
This is definitely a pressure situation for Jack Baldwin. Pickett, I think, has a car that might be a little bit faster, and he is turning up the pressure here on Big Jack.
Now, let's check the tire situation, because that's always a concern on these 100-mile Trans Am races as we go to Jan Beekes in the pits.
That's right, Gary. The competitors have a choice between tires. The 430 would be the softest they're using here. The 600 would be the medium, and the 620 would be the hardest. Our runners up front, let's say the pole sitter Greg Pickett, he's all on 430s. Then we have the Archers. They have 430s on the front, the harder 600s on the back. Then you would think, well, our series point leader, Jack Baldwin, you would think he would be conservative leading. Not. He has a soft setup, only one 600. Then you would think,